Welcome to another episode of For the Exposure. Today I have one of my closest friends in New York City who I actually met on the job, Miranda Suess.
Hi.
You look so pretty.
Thank you. So do you. As
Thank
per
you.
use.
What it took just to get a date on the calendar is a testament to being a freelancer in the city during the busiest time of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get so nervous.
I'm nervous too.
Miranda, let's just start by telling everyone how we know each other. We were booked for the exact same wedding proposal. She was the photographer. I was the violinist. A lot of times when you do wedding proposals, they'll put everyone in a group chat. And I remember I saw another Arizona area code and I thought, what the heck? That's not something you come across very often. It's usually like the 917, the 646. And so you were like, are you from Arizona? And then I said, yeah. And that's how we got connected. So
That's so funny. I remember it the other way around. I remember you asking.
oh, really?
me.
Maybe it was okay. Maybe it was me. I could be creepy like that, so it could have very well been me. What was just another colleague that I was meeting on the job. We have now been friends for 7 years. I think that is because it was 2018.
I have the date. It was June 9th, 2018.
It was June 9th.
June 9th.
That's my boyfriend Mac's birthday.
That's insane. Do you remember that being?
Well, I didn't know
Oh,
him
wait,
then.
no, duh.
I
What
didn't
am I
know him
even
then, but that's
thinking?
crazy. That was his birthday, or that is his birthday.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh
That
my gosh.
is why. I'm like, wait a minute. That number means something.
Matt, can you hear that? We met on your birthday.
In 2018. Is he napping?
7. Tell us, how did you get into photography for weddings? That's so niche.
Okay. I have written a really long story about this, but I'm going to try and make this as short as possible to get to the point.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so where do I start?
Are you nervous still?
I'm nervous. But
It's so funny because I feel like we're around people performing for a living. I get so nervous when I have to use my voice. Even last night, I had my very first DJ gig and my boyfriend was there. He was my assistant. I know you've had your husband help you at gigs at a moment where probably the DJ tells people to get like hype and stuff.
Yeah.
I was so uncomfortable and I was like, all right, well, the lady said that it's time to get y'all out of your seats. So let's get this party going, you know? And I looked at Mac and I was like, can you MC? I don't want to do this. Like, this is not me. I don't public speak. The voice is so different. I'm tripping over my words.
Mhm.
I'm constantly just freaking out. So
Oh my God. Well, you know what? We live and we learn. So that's why DJs have MCs for a reason.
yes. And and I also told Mac if he can learn to DJ too, then I'll get a proper break because I'm sure you see at gigs, the
One
DJs
of them flips.
They
Yeah.
they usually don't get breaks. If there's not another person, they are there the whole time. They're not gonna just have a playlist run the whole night. So
Exactly. Okay. So where I should start with
so cute. I just need everyone, if you're not watching the
guys,
video,
it's
she's so organized.
it's 3 pages.
And you separated the questions with different packets, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is why we're so different because I am reading something off my phone. She's printed off this beautiful font and this is just for the birth of her business. So please.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. At 15 years old, I had a point and shoot camera.
Mm-hmm.
It was the era of MySpace. I was babysitting kids working at McDonald's. And I would literally make a production at their house, dress them up, take their photos, and then at family events, I'd be capturing moments then. And at high school parties, illegally, I'd be capturing like illegal things, action happening there.
With like a digital camera. With like a
point shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would shoot that and post them and share it on MySpace, thinking, FBI doesn't exist. They'll never find these. My dad caught wind of my skill, but not the MySpace photos. He wasn't on social media, but thank God. He would tell me, you are pretty talented. And I thought, whatever, you're biased, you're my dad. Of course you're going to say these things. So my grandfather is a cop at this time, and he also did wedding photography as a hobby, like a side thing. So I always believe, oh, it's just a hobby. You never get paid for it. Then I am thinking about college. And before that, my dad's like, why don't you apply to the local Phoenix, Arizona portrait studio out of Walmart? And I was like, sure. I printed out a 4x6 binder and had all these pictures in it to show them from the babysitting gigs and not the MySpace stuff. And I got hired that day. 6 months later, 17 years old, I am the manager of the studio. By 18, I had to decide on college. I had no idea what the heck I was going to do. But I was so burnt out working at the studio because I was selling $250 packages to families that only wanted to spend $7.99.
Yeah.
And I had to go and interrupt mothers as they're like mid-errand at Walmart. Like, hey, do you want a picture? Your kid, come to my studio. It felt like I was a car salesman. I hated it.
Sales is exhausting.
It's the hardest part of the job for sure. So then my dad's like, okay, college. I quit that job. I'm 18, so my high school graduation. My grandfather gifts me a camera, my first a real camera. One I can't figure out how the heck to use because I'm so used to the point and shoot, already automatic.
Yeah.
I'm so used to what I had at the portrait studio, all automatic. I didn't have to change any settings on it. So I'm like, oh, thanks, Grandpa. That's a nice, thoughtful gift. So during college time, I was working full time, did it part time. I was working as a waitress. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I ended up being at the Disney college program, too, at some point as well.
I forgot about that. Yeah, you're not my first friend who's done that. I have a lot of Disney people in my life.
That tells you something. We're cool. So I did that. And my best friend in LA, she needed a roommate. So I moved to LA. This entire time, I had my grandpa's camera with me. It was always like stashed in the closet. And a couple times each year, I would bring it out and take some photos and put it back in the closet. Forget about it. One day, I get the call from my uncle. And it's a call that I don't normally get. So I instantly think, oh my God, this is going to be like a really bad call. I was right. My grandpa died.
Oh.
So the first thing I wanted was his camera. So I bring it out, go to the beach, bring my journal, photograph the ocean, and I'm bringing it out more and more and more to feel connected to him. I am working one night. I pick up a shift as a waitress at a nightclub, and I park where I normally park in a dark, not an alley, but a dark area where you could park and no street lights really, not a lot of foot traffic, but enough to make you feel like you're going to get murdered. So I lock up my car, run to work my shift, and my manager's like, okay, you can go home early. So I run back to my car. Normally there's a security guard that would take me, but I run back to my car. I'm starting to drive on the freeway and I hear this really weird noise.
Oh God.
And I turn around and I'm like, did I leave the window open? And I pull over and there's shattered glass everywhere. In the back seat of my Hyundai, I think it was a Hyundai. I was like, who the heck would want to steal something out of this piece of junk? I opened the trunk. My backpack's missing. And in that backpack was my grandpa's camera.
No.
So standing next to like shattered glass, I was heartbroken for a little while because that was the only piece of him I had. And I didn't give up. I ended up buying a new camera, and keep taking photos and practicing. And
you never found that other camera?
No, it's gone forever.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. And my boyfriend at the time, now husband, boyfriend, Greg. He was like, one of my cousins is getting married. Super low key, but you're going to meet my New York family. So I'd like if you came. And I was like, great. Do they have a photographer? Can I bring my camera? And they're like, no, they didn't hire anybody. Literally no one. It was a clubhouse at an apartment complex. There were no arches or no DJ. There's no officiant, nothing fancy. Instead of focusing on those things that didn't really matter, It was more about the people. And I can tell you, it was something that sparked an energy in me where it felt like a game, trying to capture every anticipated smile and laugh that was coming without disrupting the moments. And I loved it. I was what most people would think would take a couple hours. It took me weeks to just go through all of the photos, reliving those moments, making sure all of the photos were cohesive, beautifully edited, and deliver the gallery to them. And my boyfriend's like, I can tell you're like super passionate about this. Why aren't you charging for this? And for the first time, I believed it. And I said, okay, I'm going to start my business. Summer 2017 in Los Angeles is when Suess Moments was born. And I never looked back. It's the best job in the world, honestly.
And then it brought me one of my best friends. So
literally, when we talk about that proposal too, that was the first ever proposal I photographed ever.
Are you serious?
Yeah, not kidding. I even looked up just to make sure these are facts. And that was also, you were my first like real friend as well. So that day means so much to me. There's a lot of proposals I photographed to this day, but that one is like definitely is the best moment because I even have that photo on my portfolio still. Since 2018, my work has definitely developed and gotten better over time, but that photo is so special to me. Actually, I have a printed one right here. It's on my website, and I wanted just to like show everybody, like Tiffany.
Oh my god!
In this photo, right there. It's iconic, honestly.
Oh my god! Yes, and my hair was so blonde.
Yeah, you were so blonde.
I remember I hated my hair then, but then the hairdresser had recommended for me to wait it out because that was fixed from a botched. It was way worse before that. And they were like, we'll burn your hair off if we do anything else. But that's, wow. I mean, you made me still look good. So thank you.
Oh my God. It was epic. You look great
I
playing the violin.
Okay, I remember this proposal because it was one of the first ones that I thought, oh, she knew this was coming. She had a white dress on. Her nails were done. I'm sure you've done so many at this point where you can just tell the girl knew when it was happening. She was ready for this moment. A friend may have prepped her. She may have found out. Maybe like the guy or girl didn't hide it good enough. But I've done probably hundreds at this point where I can just within moments, oh, she's actually surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you got that pretty right. The backstory is that this couple was like long distance. And every like 3 weeks they would see each other. And she was graduating college.
I can't believe you remember all this, but I'm not surprised.
I'm remembering this because this was literally one of the most iconic moments in my career. And obviously meeting you, and this is one of my favorite proposals. He said we just saw each other the week before, so she has no idea that I would be coming for her graduation. But so her parents, her mom, everyone was making comments about her nails, and that is the biggest giveaway. Right?
If anyone's listening, stop doing that.
Dress laid out on the bed for her to wear, that white dress. They made her go through Central Park to go to a graduation dinner that didn't exist there. So she knew. When I asked her, she's like, yeah, I had an idea. But she's so happy. And that's what mattered. Just when you put a lot of effort and thought into a proposal, it just I don't know.
It's the thought with like, especially I would think, I mean, I haven't been proposed to, but I would feel probably when you were proposed to, just the fact that this person put in so much to make such a special moment. And even if it kind of gets spoiled or whatever, I'm sure.
I got spoiled. So yeah, I knew it was, I had a little thought in my head. So I knew, but it was still honestly the best top 5 moments in my entire life. So even though I had a little inkling of it. Yeah. So now that we're on the topic of like the proposals and stuff, can you share anything from your experience
with proposals? Okay. So what can I do? I think I'm going to give a piece of advice first. I think people should stop doing the nails thing because that's such a dead giveaway. As the friend, you could be like, oh, I have to get my nails done. You want to come with me? You could get a pedicure. And then maybe even there, if they decide not to get their nails done, be like, no, I don't want to be alone. You know, I'll pay for yours too, you know, and just kind of do it that way. I think people need to get more creative because now it's getting too obvious, but probably one of the most memorable proposal moments for me, of course, the first one that sticks out, why I want to talk about it so much is because I met one of my closest friends in the city doing a wedding proposal. But I've had really elaborate ones. I've had some that were super simple, but also the moment doesn't die down. I still, to this day, I will still cry at a wedding for certain vows. I will still cry at some proposals. It not all the time, but it happens. Also, you'll never be prepared for when someone says no. So that
that's what people want to hear.
I have had 2 wedding proposals where the girl said no, and I remember the first one, the photographer was his friend, and the photographer had told me, also, by the way, I'll just change his name, Robert said if it goes bad to just walk away and not cause a scene. And my first question was, why don't you typically propose to someone you know what the answer is going to be? You're not like, oh, well, we don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to spend all this money and we'll see if she says yes. So I was instructed to just not cause a scene. And I'm like, well, that's dumb. Okay, I won't. And she said no. And I got the look from the photographer. He like, put his hands like around the neck, like cut, cut, cut. And I just turned around and just walked away. I remember I was playing All of Me by John Legend. Also, stop requesting that song. All of Me by John Legend. And I turned around and walked away. I grabbed my stuff and it was so awkward. The second one was way more awkward because I was on a rooftop and you can't just run away. This one was very elaborate. There were like flower petals and a big "Marry Me" sign. There was family waiting around the corner at a restaurant. And she apparently, when she got up there, I could tell by her face she was not happy. And she didn't even want to walk down the aisle of flowers. I'm playing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And that was the only song request because wedding proposals are very short. There's all this prep that goes into it, but the moment is literally under a minute. So I had one song, but they ended up arguing there for like 17 minutes. And so I was just looping Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
She really freaking hates that song.
And so I'm just like, I can't even leave. I can't even walk away because I'm right at the end of where this beautiful setup is. And then she stormed away and then he runs after her. And I found out later on, this was maybe like the third time he had tried. Last ditch effort. And then she was also mad because it wasn't done the right way. And I'm sorry, it was really pretty. It was a really, really nice proposal. She just didn't like, I don't know if she just didn't have enough say. Maybe she was like a control freak or something, but she was not okay with it. And all their family was waiting at a restaurant. So when I walked out of the building to be done with the proposal, she was on one end of the block and he was on the other end of the block. And they were both talking to friends, sorting it out. There were tears. I felt so uncomfortable. Oh, and then he tried asking for his money back. And it's like, sorry, dude, we don't guarantee that your person's going to say yes. We just provide the service of the photos or music, whatever it is. But that's the most memorable wedding proposal moment for me.
Wow.
Have you ever had someone say no?
No.
It's very rare. So I feel very, I don't know if I should say lucky, but I feel blessed that I've experienced two of those because they are really, really awkward.
I've actually had some cancellations for weddings.
Oh.
Two.
Do you ever get the backstories?
One I have a backstory on. The first one that canceled. She had been dating her boyfriend turned fiance for a very long time. I think it was around 10 years. It was that type of long relationship.
That's like my sister and her husband.
Yeah. There's been a lot of those lately, honest. They've been waiting longer until they got married, and that's fine. During the bachelor party, he cheated on her.
No.
She found out and they ended it. I felt so bad for her. Obviously, I wanted to I ended up giving money back. I just felt so terrible. That she wasn't going to have her wedding. Instead of giving her the deposit part, the retainer, I was like, hey, why don't we like do a fun photo shoot? And she was so down. She wore her outfit change dress, which was a gorgeous, like, I think it was a Galia Le Havre gown.
Oh, those are stunning.
Yeah. And we had her florist that she had booked bring like this beautiful installation. We booked a studio. We did a whole shoot. She was cutting up flowers, and it was a very powerful moment.
Aww.
And she loved it. It was a great, great photo. And she ended up donating that dress to other brides who can't afford dresses, like a donation dress company. But she was like, I'm good. And she's now actually engaged in getting married again.
Are you going to do her wedding?
No. I think that it puts a little sour taste in her mouth if you think about it, because it's like I kind of probably resemble like her old past relationship in a way. So it's okay. I'm not mad about it, but I'm just like so happy that she found love.
Oh, that's so great.
Because she is a great human. So I wanted that for her no matter what.
Can I also just say, this is speaking of bachelor and bachelorette parties, I was so impressed with yours and Greg's weekends. You just always hear how people kind of go the sleazy route. There's like strippers, there's this and that. And I had so much fun at yours, and it was just clean fun. And then we even all met up at one point, which you don't really hear that happening either, where it's the same weekend and then you're in the same spot. When we all met up, of course, they're just being dudes and drinking and playing games, and they're having like a tournament of games, which I think is
Super Smash Brothers.
Just so Greg, and I love that so much. So bachelor and bachelorette weekends don't have to be gross. You can still have fun and respect your partner and not be sleazy.
Yeah.
So I was also one of her bridesmaids. But anyway, let's move on to some more stuff. So
I remember what you said about please stop requesting all of me.
All of Me by John Legend.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I do want to ask, because you're in the music industry and you've played in big bands at weddings and in ceremonies and proposals. I think the people need to know, especially if there's a couple that's planning their wedding, what are some overplayed? So I can tell you my piece on that.
Tell me yours.
I really hate the song Sweet Caroline.
Oh, I'm with you on that one. Mm-hmm. But that's also worse because it plays at sporting events too.
Oh, so you hear it a lot.
So that's why I think that's why it kind of bleeds into weddings. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know it plays at, I think it's football games.
Oh.
Because then the crowd goes, so good, so good.
I mean,
so
I
good.
get it. It's a good, like, song. To be honest, some of the songs I hate make really good photos because there's a lot of, like, action and, like, movement happening. Like, that song, You Make Me Wanna Shout, Put Your Hands Up, and that song,
shout.
That song makes great photos.
The 60s song.
The song, I'm not a big fan of the song itself.
Out of the two, I can tolerate that one over Sweet Caroline. Yeah. Shut Up and Dance with Me. I hate that song.
I have to disagree. I love that song. You hate it. You hate performing it.
There's something in it, and it's actually one of my favorite keys. If I remember, it's like D flat major, D flat or A flat.
Greg hates that song.
Oh, I love you, Greg. This is why we're friends. No, I can't stand Shut Up and Dance with Me. All her weddings, Stop Requesting, or proposals even. Perfect by Ed Sheeran. 1,000 Years. That's another one. I actually have a playlist in my Spotify. I think I shared it to links in my bio of songs that don't get played often that are still great for a wedding. I'll link that in our episode section.
That's a good, get that list, guys.
There's so many songs. There's so many songs that you could go with. That's just the few that are at the top of my head. This is something we bond over. I love disco, and I'm so upset that September is almost gone for me. Like, I love Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I love September, and it's at that point where I don't know if I can listen to it anymore.
It's played at
every wedding.
At least 90% of weddings, I'm hearing it. Mm-hmm. It is the song that gets everyone on the dance floor, every generation.
Mm-hmm.
However, because you hear it so much, it's so overplayed, but it is a pretty good song.
Yeah.
It is, but so overplayed. Just like Perfect Ed Sheeran, it's so poetic and beautiful, but so many first dances are with that song. It's like everyone, as they turn 80, are all gonna have like that same song.
Oh my god. First dances, like, well, maybe not first dances. Oh, it's like the father-daughter and the mother-son dances almost always still make me cry.
Oh,
I don't even know them, and I'm sitting there with my Diet Coke on the side on my break, like, it's so cute. They love each other so much.
When I see them cry, I'm crying.
Oh,
if Dad's crying, I'm
dad.
Dead.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
Dads have my heart. They're the only. I think that because I'm so close with my father that if I see a father crying at a first look with his daughter on the wedding day or on the dance floor or at the ceremony, it's already happening. Waterworks. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I get super, super choked up about it. I can even feel my eyes glistening just thinking about my dad. Okay, we only have like 14 minutes left because Miranda is booked and blessed, and she has to go all the way back to Jersey. She came out here to Queens to do this, and we just were both very, we were just taking our time, but we look great right now because of her. This is all because of Miranda.
I also wanted to sleep another hour, so
me too. When she said that she hadn't gone out of bed yet, I was like, thank God, because I still need a shower. I still got to do everything. Okay, so what's the craziest request a bride or groom has ever made for you to do, like, as far as taking pictures?
I'm not going to say any names.
Of course not.
We had to take this photo outside in a private area. We had to close the curtains to where the father of the bride was standing so he didn't accidentally see this. But this couple particularly requested where, I'm just going to give you a visual. They have clothes on, okay? He's standing, she's on her knees, and her hands are around his butt cheeks, and he's opening his jacket. And that was the photo they wanted to frame. So it's a strange request. It's hysterical, but that's probably the wildest one I've ever gotten.
I mean, A+ for creativity. What's the craziest family drama moment at a gig that you've had?
So in the past, as I was starting as a wedding photographer, and I still do, I'll pick up gigs where I'm helping lead photographer shoot. So I'll be the second photographer. So this isn't my own wedding. Very grateful. I don't really have any family drama moments to share from my own weddings. However, at this wedding, I'm second shooting, so I start with the groom preparation photos.
And second shooting means you're like...
The second photographer, basically more that candid style, but I work with the groom primarily in the mornings.
Okay.
And grooms are typically super easy to photograph. I don't need like the full hour that usually is given.
Mm-hmm.
So I finish early. I go over to the bridal suite that's across the hall. And by this time, the bride should be in her dress and ready to go. It's basically bridal portraits.
I'm scared.
And I get there. She's not dressed. One of the sisters of the bride isn't dressed. So it's an absolute panic, if you can imagine. We need to get her to the church. So we kindly gesture, let's get the mother of the bride to start getting your daughter dressed. She has two sisters. One of the sisters is dressed, and we're like, where's the other sister? The other sister is having a meltdown because she hates her bridesmaid's dress.
They didn't figure this out before the wedding? Like, you haven't seen your dress?
I'm sure she did, but she's just being a diva.
Oh, dear.
Is one of those people.
The bridesmaid was being a diva.
Yeah, sister.
Okay.
One of the sisters of the bride. I am biting my tongue.
Oh, yeah, because you can't say anything.
I can't say anything, but I'm capturing the moment between her and mom and the other sister. But I'm like thinking, this absolute bitch, you know? It is not your day.
Right.
Right? And she doesn't want to be in any of the pictures.
No.
So it's just
the
like,
poor bride.
Yeah. But you know what? The bride, I watched her and she handled it all with grace, thinking, oh, that's my sister. That's how she is. I don't tolerate kind of those people. I just ignored her and moved on with the rest of the day. And when it came to the reception, that sister is wearing a different dress.
No. She's changed?
Wearing a bedazzled look at me type of gown.
Oh, dear.
The bride, it doesn't faze her. So she just enjoys her night. But the whole time I'm making up this drama in my head, being like, this bitch needs to get out. Like, I hate her so much. It's just those kind of moments on wedding days when there is even not just a bridesmaid not liking their dress, or it's just like taking away from the bride's moment.
Yeah.
Because it's their moment on the wedding day. Like, to complain about them requesting certain things that they do, I just think it's so rude.
it's rude, guys. It's rude.
And it's like, if I was the bride, I'm like, who are you? And there's been so many bridesmaids I've witnessed who just sit there. They're on their phones. They don't really engage. They're not there to be helpful with the bride. If they're just sitting there, like, do you understand what your title is? Bride, maid. Like, you are a maid. Literally, you're her bitch for the day. So you go do these things for her. You make her feel like an absolute princess. I'm just going off topic here because that is also one of the things I absolutely dread on wedding days, is working with bridal parties that just aren't good people.
Yeah. For me, I dread working with the planners. They're my least favorite part of the gig.
Really?
That's actually a big part of why I like to have an assistant, because I don't want anyone to talk to me. I want to do my job.
How do you have an assistant? Oh, you're talking about for DJing?
Even for my electric violin stuff, I have my equipment. I mean, a lot of times I have to do it by myself, and I'll, text when they ask me, well, what time you coming and all of that. But aside from that, once you tell me where to go and whatever, and I've been paid already because I get paid before I show up. That's one of the biggest things. I think another tip I could give with weddings is make sure you get paid before you show up. The balance, I have my balance due the night before. Yeah. So I'll, of course, find a moment to say hi to the couple and stuff. But especially if I know it's like certain planners I've worked with in the past, and I'm just like, some of them change on the day. They get real mean. And that's what I avoid. And I'm like, I don't need that energy. I don't need that to stress me out. I'm trying to bring happiness to these people, make them dance, make them enjoy themselves. I don't need someone screaming at me about something else, which is also another plus to not being the boss. I do own my own company. I also work for other companies. And I know that when it's not me, when I'm not the boss, I can just coast. I show up. Oh, I don't work for you. I work for this person. I'm not talking to you. Talk to my boss. What's one item you can't live without at a wedding gig?
But I can't live without?
Yeah. What do you need at every gig? You're like,
water.
Water? Okay.
Dehydration. Oh my God. It happens so much faster.
And you don't realize it when it's happening because you're just working and you're not thinking about it.
Yeah, you need the water. Mm-hmm. I think that's so silly to say, but obviously I need my gear and all of that. Yeah. But water, I just can't.
Like, is there like a specific pair of shoes that you wear? Or
oh, yeah. At this point, I have a whole collection. But
I know you have like your Hokas and all that.
Not anymore.
No?
No, I got rid of the Hokas, although they are very comfortable. But I think to elevate my look, I went with different style shoes. And I found some really cute booties. Even just white sneakers go a long way.
Oh,
even with a dress.
You like naturalizers too, right? You're a big fan of them.
I think that's or Dr. Scholl's, one of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I have some platform sparkly, bedazzled, black, chunky sneakers. I freaking love those.
Fun. Ooh, send me the link for those.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Miranda will test and try tons of things. She knows what works. She even test ran her wedding shoes. So like, I've never met anyone who's gone to that level of commitment. So it's when she says that she tried something and she knows it works, it's because she literally tried it. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's a dream collaboration? Someone you'd love to take photos of?
Oh, photos of?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, God. I think about it, but I don't think it's a real thing.
I guess say Justin Bieber.
No, I could not. I could not photograph him. I've met him once in my life. That's a whole other story. But I can tell you with that experience, there's no way I can be in front of him for more than 1 minute. I won't speak. I can't function. I freeze. Yeah. Like, there's no way. But the type of person I love to photograph, my dream person, and I've already had a scenario where I photographed them, so I just want to photograph more like this. It's essentially somebody that has that's really kind, that doesn't treat me as your vendor as the help, more like family, that is affectionate with their partner. And they love to hold hands. Like something so simple like that makes them qualify as my dream couple. This is also really important too, is that they love to dance. I want my couples to have the best time on their wedding day and really value those really wild, fun moments on the dance floor. And the last thing is when they imagine their wedding day, they're inspired by Disney classics and French chateaus and European architecture, fairy tale storybook vibes. With that, I get so inspired on wedding days and I visualize more of a romantic storybook that I get to capture. Because on a wedding day, what I do, my job is capturing the story of the day. It makes me feel more alive when I document days like that fit the type of couple that I vibe with, if that makes sense.
I love that. I mean, what a beautiful answer. Okay, if you weren't doing photography, what would you be doing instead?
Probably waitressing. Yeah.
Okay. Would that be like your choice, or is there something you feel like you would have wanted to do?
Because it makes really good money, and I know it. I've been in it in so long. And I was working as an executive assistant, office manager. I had like real big pant jobs. Yeah.
Oh, because you got me in for a holiday party.
Yes.
At one of your jobs.
Yeah, and you played violin. Oh my God, Titanic moment. I remember that. But I would probably go back to waitressing just because I knew it makes more money, and to live in Jersey City, New York City, you need all the income you can possibly get.
You're a people person, so I'm sure you did a great job of doing that.
Yeah. I mean, you asked me this question, so I would like to know, what is your dream experience on a wedding day? Maybe the right vendors or maybe the worst vendors you've ever worked with?
Dream experience, I think, just a really easy couple. Brides are usually not even the biggest problem. Mother of the bride is like momzilla. I don't know if that's a word, but song requests. I actually don't mind repeats. I get really excited when it's a song I've never done before. A lot of times I will just, this is kind of a confession, sometimes I just listen to the song on the way to the gig, and that's how I learn it.
Oh, like to perform it. I forget because now you just like started picking up this DJ thing.
Yeah.
You're starting to do that now. So I'm thinking, oh, like putting you as a DJ instead of a violinist. But
I don't know if I'll quite venture into being a wedding DJ. There's a lot of prep that goes before that.
Gear.
And a lot of gear. A lot of them, they're doing lighting. I don't think that's really the journey for me. When I pick this up, I want to do more private events and corporate. That's what I did last night, a corporate holiday party. And that was so my vibe. So I want to keep going along that path and getting to work with really cool vendors that I become friends with. You're obviously one that really sticks out the most. And we've become such great friends for so long.
It's a rare thing
to
find because it's such a lonely...
It's very isolating, especially you. Her job isn't done when and there's our timer. Her job isn't done when she leaves the venue. She has to edit 50,000 photos. At least I get to go home. I'll take my makeup off. I take my lashes off.
Yeah, but you got the prep work. You have to remember how to perform a song, especially with no backtrack or anything like that. And then also like making sure who you're playing with.
Especially, and then if I'm contracting like an ensemble, I have to make sure their music is good. And a lot of times I write the music. I'll arrange the music.
That's a lot of prep. That's a lot of prep hours.
Yeah. There's a lot of prep. But we're gonna just wrap this up now. Miranda, thank you so much for doing this.
This was actually much more fun than I thought.
Really?
I was so nervous.
I mean, we talked about this. This is probably the least nervous I've been. I'm not sweating. My back isn't sweating. So
that's a good sign.
Yeah, must be because
and the heat's on in here. So
oh gosh, well that's unavoidable. That's the New York apartments. But thank you so much for being here, and I'm sure we'll have more episodes together in the future.
I would love that.
I feel like we just cracked the surface. We'll do another one, but
I'll have more drama to share with you guys.
Drama. It's never ending. All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks, girl. Love you. Mwah. All right. Let's go. Oh, was my eyelash this janky the whole time? Oh, well. If you've got your own wild gig story, I want to hear it. DM me on Instagram at fortheexposure.com or send a hello to fortheexposurepod@gmail.com. This podcast is produced by Weiss Artistry Production with music by Tiger Darrow. See you next time.